What happened to toothbrushes in 2023? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It could have. But it didn't. Not in 2023. In 2022, however, it was close, but not as close as in the controversial 2017 when the toothbrush world was on the verge. That year, even Paul A. Freeman wrote a poem to record the moment. Ill-used by Paul A. Freeman. My bristles had a fresh and minty smell, and brushed from east to west, from north to south, an organ as malodorous as dung. I've been ill-used, no other word will do. The title ill-used indicates something sinister happened with the toothbrush. Freeman also gives directions where we should look: east-west, north-south. The poem even received recognition in the Interboard Poetry Competition, where it scored second place and was the only poem to receive an honorable mention that year. But it still didn't happen. Note that Paul Freeman has the same name as Paul Freeman, who was an American Bigfoot hunter who claimed to have captured video evidence of the existence of Bigfoot and discovered Bigfoot tracks showing dermal ridges. What Bigfoot and toothbrushes have in common? Hair. Hair as you may think, or hair as heir to the throne. Who are these people seeking such power? Another historically significant Paul Freeman was an Australian communist, the seventh victim in a famous arrow wagon incident for which Artyom Sergeyev, adopted son of Joseph Stalin, claimed was sabotaged by Trotsky. Coincidence? Remember number 7, we will get back to it later. And as for his name, Freeman? Free. Man. Free from what? Or rather, from whom? When did it all start? The modern toothbrush was invented in 1938 with nylon bristles by Dupont de Nemours. However, the story began much earlier. Ancient civilizations used chew sticks around 3000 BC. The first bristle toothbrush was invented in China in 1498, and William Addis of England mass-produced the first toothbrush around 1780. The story goes that while imprisoned in Newgate Prison, Addis noticed the ineffective method of cleaning teeth at the time, which involved using a cloth with soot or crushed shell. Inspired by the broom used to sweep the floor, he saved a small animal bone from a meal, drilled holes into it, and inserted bristles obtained from a guard. After his release, he started a business manufacturing toothbrushes, which became very successful. Addis's company continued to grow and remained in family ownership until 1996. Today it operates under the name Wisdom Toothbrushes, allegedly producing millions of toothbrushes annually. This is the story we are told, but was it really so? What wisdom does this Wisdom Toothbrushes company hide? The company's address is Colne Valley Road, Haverhill, Suffolk, UK, but if you open Google Maps, the windows in the building next to it are inexplicably boarded up. And why was William in prison in the first place? Well, William Addis was involved in the Spitalfields riots, which occurred between 1765 and 1769. These riots were driven by a downturn in the silk weaving industry in Spitalfields, London. The weavers organized to protest against the reduction in their piecework pay rates, which had fallen to levels that made it difficult for them to support themselves and their families. Who exactly were these weavers, and who were the members of their families is still unclear today. The situation was exacerbated by the economic downturn following the 7 Years' War, leading to increased unemployment and hardship among so-called weavers. This war, from 1756 to 1763, involved major powers and reshaped the political landscape, but in the entire 7 Years' War documentation, we find no mention of toothbrushes. Who and why suppressed this information? The suppression of information does not end there with mysterious weavers. If you try to access Pam Ayres's poem from 1975, "Oh, I Wish I'd Looked After Me Teeth," you will find it is still under copyright protection. The 1976 Copyright Act and the 1998 Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act extended copyright terms, creating a monopoly over creative works. Why in 1975 the toothbrush discourse is being suppressed, and why the year later the Copyright Act extends the blackout to 75 years, and in 1998 the Bono Act to 95 years? Are these numbers another coincidence? If we examine the number more closely, we can see that 75 is 1975 without 19, and 95 is 1998 without 19. Well, almost, in case someone with bad handwriting writes 5 so it resembles the 8. But more importantly, we need to consider that while the act was signed into law in October 1998 by President Bill Clinton, another shady figure in this dark conspiracy, the preparations for it could have started much earlier, perhaps in 1995. Keep in mind that same year, on January 26, 1998, Bill Clinton famously stated, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky." So, while we were distracted by his lies and denials, that same year he also signed the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA, on October 28, 1998. These acts were part of broader efforts to update and strengthen copyright law. And who benefits from that? Certainly not you, the toothbrush user. Why is number 19 so important here? In numerology, 19 is considered a powerful number associated with new beginnings, independence and personal growth. It combines the energies of 1, leadership and individuality, and 9, completion and humanitarianism, symbolizing the end of one cycle and the start of another. Spiritually, 19 is linked to awakening, enlightenment, and higher consciousness. It carries vibrations of truth, wisdom, and a deep connection to the divine. The number 19 has historical importance in various cultures. For example, the lunar cycle takes approximately 19 years to realign with the same position in relation to the Earth and Sun. And who uses the lunar calendar? Chinese. And who first invented the toothbrush similar to today's design? Chinese. What year was it? 1498. And what do we see there? 1 and 9 again. 19. The curious connection between number 19 and toothbrushes is revealed in this rare writing discovered recently, signed by mysterious initials AI, which presumably stands for Anonymous Idioticus, an alter ego of a prominent public figure often quoted today. Whispers in the Bristles by AI. In the shadows of the bathroom, they lie in wait. Silent sentinels of the morning's fate. Bristles whisper secrets, hidden in plain sight. Guardians of the enamel, in the dead of night. A conspiracy of cleanliness masked in mint, the fluoride's promise a clandestine hint. Who controls the bristles, the unseen hand? A plot to cleanse or a darker command? 19 bristles, a coded clue, unraveling mysteries as the bristles roll. In the mirror's reflection truths unfold, a toothbrush's tale, cryptic and bold. It is all out there, conspiracy, mystery, unseen hand, darker command, in the shadows, and cryptic. And of course, the number 19. Conspiracy deniers claim that this text was just recently written, but even if it was certainly written in a conspiratory style. A little bit too obvious? Of course, hiding in plain sight is a preferred strategy of conspirators. The idiom hiding in plain sight became more widely recognized in the 19th century in the USA. It describes situations where something or someone is concealed in an obvious location, but goes unnoticed due to its unassuming appearance. Again, 19th century, number 19 appears. Most importantly, let us not forget that 19 is a prime number. This probably explains why nothing happened to toothbrushes in 2023. While 23 is also a prime number, 2023 is not. And this is probably what people studying the Great Toothbrush Conspiracy got wrong. 2 plus 3 is 5, which is a prime number, but 1 plus 9 is 10, which is double 5, and almost the prime 11, and 11 minus 5 is 7, which is another prime. The number 7 appears frequently in religious texts and mythology. For example, in Christianity there are 7 days of creation, 7 deadly sins, and 7 virtues. In Hinduism, there are 7 chakras, and in Islam, there are 7 heavens. The number 7 is often found in nature and science. There are 7 colors in the rainbow, 7 notes in a musical scale, and 7 continents on Earth. Remember Paul Freeman from the beginning? His name has 7 letters. F-R-E-A-E-M-A-N. Coincidence? This explains the toothbrush controversy of 2017. 20 minus 1 is 19 and there is 7 remaining. This also explains why the powers behind the copyright laws tried to shut it all down in the 1970s. Today it is the 1st of April 2025. 142025. 1 plus 4 equals 5. 5 times 2 equals 10. We have 10 on the left side of the 0, and 2 times 5 equals 10 also on the right side of the 0. It is a date of perfect balance. But still the mystery of what could have happened to toothbrushes in 2023 and other inconspicuous years remains unsolved. But ask yourself, who really benefits from that? and why you watch this video to the end. April Fools.